Lebanon fought its own civil war on sectarian lines for 15 years, and now the Syrian conflict is literally spilling across its border. Syrian troops have carried out incursions into Lebanese territory, while rebels take shelter in Lebanese towns. It has aggravated unhealed wounds from the past, stirring fears of a new civil war.
It has polarized the politics of Lebanon. It has resulted in conflicts that have taken place in Tripoli. It has resulted in skirmishes that have happened in Beirut. Lebanon is, of course, vulnerable to this type of sectarian conflict.
Lebanon's Sunnis mainly support Syria's rebels, while Shias, including the powerful militant group Hezbollah, tend to back President Bashar al-Assad, a member of the Alawite sect.
Lebanon is divided in half between the group that support the Syrian regime and those people who actually hoping and capitalizing on what they called the Free Syrian Army.
Nowhere is that divide more violently visible than in Tripoli. On the streets of Lebanon's second largest city, Alawi and Sunni gunmen have been battling it out. We spoke to fighters on both sides who showed no willingness to disarm.
Okay. Sit down, please.
This is the leader of a Sunni militia here in Tripoli's Bab al-Taban Islam. I asked him whether peace with his opponents is possible.
As long as Assad remains in power, there won't be peace in Syria, Lebanon, or Iraq, or Palestine. There will be no peace while he is in force.
In neighboring Jebel Mahsen, an Alawite fighter shows me the destroyed remains of his home. When asked to explain the recent fighting with his Sunni neighbors, this was his response.
We are defending ourselves against machines of terror and mercenaries who are being brought in from abroad.
Even the push to defend Islam's most unifying figure, the Prophet Muhammad, wasn't enough to bridge Lebanon's sectarian divide. In Beirut, separate protests against an anti-Islam video. Hezbollah turned tens of thousands of Shias to the streets. Days later, a hardline Sunni cleric gathered his own supporters in the capital. They may have been united in their outrage, but protesters carried flags that left no doubt which side of the Syrian divide they're on. For now, Lebanon is holding together, but some residents here wonder whether this is just the calm before the storm.
All the Syrian Sunnis and Shias are going to come into Lebanon. They're going to start a revolution in the streets here, and then Hezbollah and Amal and everyone are going to fight over the streets and like that. So it's going to end in havoc.
This shelled-out building stands in Beirut's Green Line, which for nearly 2 decades divided the city during Lebanon's bitter civil war. Christian communities lived over here to the east. Muslim communities lived across the street to the west. But as the armed conflict in Syria continues to escalate just across the border, many here in Lebanon fear that the fragile peace could yet again be shattered, and that sectarian tensions could once again plunge this nation of nearly 4 million into another civil war. For RT, I'm Lucy Kafanov in Beirut.